Hello everybody, welcome back to Compel 1. Today's video we're going to do some string interpolation in Python, and we're going to use our usual Docker container and Jupyter notebook. And this one actually is something that I'm actually doing right now because I've got some issues with the credit bureaus having some incorrect information on my credit report as far as addresses, phone numbers, and some other things. So I wrote this app real quick to actually handle these disputes. So I thought I'd share with you kind of the process that I'm going through to actually create the updated files. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dig into it. So as we get started here, we'll kind of look through some of the letters. So first of all, we will, I've got this credit dispute Python example app that we're going to create here. And in this folder, we have a Docker file, which is our normal Docker file that we have that actually just starts up our Jupyter notebook. And we actually have some letters in here as well. So if we go into that directory, we can see that we've got some letters in here. So we got remove address, remove phone number, and some other letters here. So let's go ahead, and in this example, we'll just mess around with the remove address letter for Equifax. So I'm just gonna print that out here so you can kind of see what's in there. So basically, anything that you see in curly braces here, the program is actually gonna update this letter and inject the appropriate information based on variables defined inside the Python application. So let's go ahead and clear this out. And then what we'll do is we will go ahead and start up a Jupyter notebook. So we'll go back a directory first. So we're going to start it outside of the container. But as always, I'll have the container in GitHub. So if you don't want to actually write the code yourself and you just want to use the example code, it'll be inside the Docker container for you. So you don't have to worry about installing Jupyter on your machine. So let's go ahead and start up our Jupyter notebook here. And so we've got our Jupyter notebook location here. And let's go ahead and create a new window for Google Chrome. So we'll go ahead and bring that in and then open up our Jupyter notebook. And as you can see, we got our files in there. We'll go ahead and create a new document and we'll call this our credit dispute notebook. So in this one, we don't need anything fancy. All we need is OS, and we'll see why we're using that in a second. And we also need date time. So this one is going to be pretty simple compared to the other OpenCV video that we did. So after we get those imported, we'll go ahead and create a constant for letters location. And that constant is going to point to the letters directory. And then from there, we want to, let's go ahead and create a name for our remove address letter. And that is going to be in the console. So let's just grab that real quick. Oh, we closed it out. So we'll go ahead and create a new tab here. And let's go here. And we're going to go ahead and open up, what is this called? Example. And let's go cat letters / remove address. So we'll go ahead. So this is the actual letter name. So we'll just grab that real quick and then paste that into here right there. And so we got that in there now. And then what we'll do is we'll create a constant for the Equifax updated letter is going to be equal to, and we'll call this one updated address letter. So this is going to be the actual output is going to go into this one. And we'll just create a variable for the remove address letter full path so that we don't have to keep on messing around with that. So this is what we're going to use os.path for. We'll go ahead and join letters location with the remove address letter. And then we'll create another one for updated remove. We'll call this updated Equifax. And the reason why we do it this way is because you're going to have different bad addresses on the different credit bureaus. So it just makes sense to just name it Equifax. And we will call that, we'll do an OS, and we'll join letters location with Equifax updated letter. So now we've got that stuff defined. And so what we'll do from here is we will set up a couple other variables that we're going to use. So one of those variables that we need in the file is the date. So we'll go ahead and create a variable for that, and that is going to be date.today. And then the name actually needs to be replaced in the file, and that's going to be constant. So we'll go ahead and put my name in there. And then from there, we need the address. So we'll go ahead and put my current address in there. We'll call it 11. My current address, and that address is going to be in Charlotte, and we got the cops riding by now outside. You can hear that. 278. So we'll go ahead and create that. This needs to be address 1, and then we've got address 2 that we'll put in there as well. And we'll just say that that's nothing. We don't have an address 2. And then SSN, I'm not going to give you my SSN, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then DOB, you can have my DOB. So we'll go ahead and put that 2279. So we got that in there. The next thing that we need is Equifax's bureau name, address information as well, which I'm going to have to look that up. So just give me 1 second, and we'll call this Equifax bureau name, and that's going to be equal to, this is going to be Equifax information services LLC. And then we need their address. So we're just going to take this real quick and just copy it a couple times. So this is going to be address, and their address is P.O. Box, and that is going to be 740241. And then we've got their city, and that's going to be equal to Atlanta. And then we got their state, and that's going to be Georgia. And then from there, we've got the zip code, and that is all we need for Equifax. And again, like if you're doing the letters for all of the credit bureaus, you'll need to define variables for all of those credit bureau names and so on and so forth. So down here, we'll go ahead and define my current address, and that's going to be equal to address 1. So this way I can just have multiple variables for that. So we'll just set that equal to address 1. So everything looks clean here. And so what we want to do from here is we're going to create an array of bad addresses. And so again, we'll go ahead and prefix this with Equifax, and we'll call it Equifax bad addresses, and that's going to be equal to an array. And we'll do 1 sum street in Charlotte and North Carolina 278. We can leave. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create that. Let's do a couple more here. So we'll do that one. Let's say 1. We'll call this one 2. And then this one will be 3 and 4. That way we can have a couple of them in there. So we'll call that 3. And then this one is 4. So these are our bad addresses that we're going to use for Equifax. And basically what we want to do with this is we want to turn this into a string, because we're actually going to use this as a string. So we'll call this Equifax bad addresses string. And we'll go ahead and use another command here. So we'll do a return new line and a tab. And we'll join that up with the bad addresses array that we have here. And what'll happen in the document is we'll get the get the addresses on a new line, and got an extra comma in there. So that should be good there. And then what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and start updating the document. So first thing that we need to do is go ahead and read the document in. So we'll go with open, and we'll call this, we'll use this guy right here. We want to open that file, and we're going to open it for reading. We're not going to do any writing to it. We'll call it F, and we're just going to read in all the file contents. And that is going to be equal to, so that'll read in the entire file. And then we'll call this variable Equifax updated letter text, and we'll put that into a variable. And so this is where the string interpolation comes. We're going to use a command called format for the string, and we're basically going to define each of the variables that we have in the file in here, and they'll be replaced with the variable data that we actually have defined in this notebook. So the first one is date, so we'll set that equal to date. The next one is name, we'll set that equal to name. And then we got address 1, and then address 2, and we've got the SSN is SSN, and DOB is equal to DOB. So make sure we get our commas in there. So we got that, and then so now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have a bunch of these right here. So we'll just do this real quick, and we'll set that name equal to Equifax, and we'll grab the bureau name from here, put a comma there, and we'll go ahead and copy this out real quick. And this is going to be address, and that's going to be Equifax. So bureau address, and then we've got the city for the bureau, and we'll Equifax city. And then we have the state for the bureau, and then we'll have the zip code for the bureau. So zip, and we'll set that equal to Equifax zip. And then from there, we're gonna just go ahead and replace the wrong addresses. So we got that defined in the file as well, and we'll set that equal to our Equifax bad addresses string. So that guy right there. And so now this should update the text from the file that we just read. And then from there, what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and open up another file and write out the updated text to that file. So say with open, and we're going to open up this file right here that we defined. So this is the updated file name. So we're going to create that guy, and we're going to open this file up for write, and we'll call it Equifax. And then we're just gonna go ef write, and we are going to write the Equifax updated letter text to that file. And then, so what this should do is update the variables in the file and write that out. And this is a good error right here, just to show you that when you're doing named interpolation, if you miss one, it'll actually error out for you. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, did I get that one or not? So we missed current address. So we'll go ahead and add that in here, and then that error should go away. And so if we go back to the actual location here, you can see that this was the old file right here. And so what we'll do is we'll just cat letters, and then it's updated, remove address, Equifax. I think that's what I named it. Let's go look and make sure. No, it's Equifax updated. So this is an old file that I was messing around with. So this is the new file right here. So you can see that after we print out the file, you can see that the date is there, my name is there, address information, SSN, all that, and the formatting kept into the document for the actual wrong addresses array. So we were able to loop through those. And then from here, you can actually update this code to actually work for Experian and TransUnion. And you can also update the other letters as well, right? So if you have addresses and all this stuff or whatever will be in the actual GitHub repo, so you can actually pull this up and make your own edits to it. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Next time we're going to switch things up and we'll do some Node and Socket.io and RxJS. Stay tuned. Have a good day.